Are you just getting into EVE Online after hearing about the Doctor Who crossover event, Interstellar Convergence? Well, welcome aboard and stick with me for I'll teach you everything that you need to know to get into the event as soon as possible and start it out on the right foot. If you are new here, welcome aboard. Thanks so much for coming along. My name is Interdimensional. I am the exploration expert of EVE Online and your resource for all the latest content in New Eden. Two things before we get into the bulk of the content. First is that there is going to be a little bonus hint at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around to watch that. And second is that if you do get value out of this content, please make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. It really does help all of our analytics. We just got monetized here, so we're getting that YouTube AdSense money, and it really does help out. So thank you so much, and let's get into it. So first off, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. So chapters, they are all listed down below in the little timeline. So if there's something specific you're looking for, please do feel free to go ahead and look for it there. But the chapters in order of what we're talking about today are starting the event, getting through the bare minimum requirements to get to the event, optional things that you can do to help you out before the event, and lastly, doing the event and what happens afterwards. Also, I do want to let you guys know that we have live streamed this entire process from start to finish over on our YouTube and or Twitch channel. So if you want to go ahead and check those out, links will be down below in the description. So you can scrub through those and get to a very detailed look at anything that we talk about here today. So first up is creating an account. Sounds pretty easy, right? So you're just going to go ahead and click on this recruit a friend link. What this is going to do is allow you to get 1 million extra free skill points, which is basically like your character experience. Because of how EVE works in its leveling up system, it's based off real actual time. This buddy link is going to save you about 3.5 weeks worth of training time. Technically, I do get a bit of a kickback, or whoever's link you use does get a kickback, but it is pretty minuscule in compared to the benefits that you get. And if you've already accidentally created an account and didn't use a buddy link, don't worry, I have a video just for you. You can get to it in this little top corner, and that should help you open up a GM ticket and get your 1 million skill points. Next up is you want to create a character. So you're just going to go ahead and open the game after you've installed it, made your account, done all that good stuff, and you are going to be presented with a choice of 4 empires of which to create your character. So I do want to say that this doesn't really matter. So there are different races, different bloodlines that all kind of affect the appearance of your character, but appearance of your character plays a very minimal role in this game, and it doesn't limit you to any kind of ship choices or any areas of space or allegiances you can put in the game. It does start you in a different location, but it's easy enough to fly around to a different location. All that said, I do recommend starting as a Caldari character for 2 main reasons. The first is that you're going to be started off on the Caldari skill ship plan, which is what we're going to be focusing on here. And also, it will start you near a major trade location called Jita, and we'll talk about that again in a little bit. All that said, if you like a particular race's appearance, feel free to go with them. It's not too big of an issue. And after you've created your character, next up is going to be the new player experience. So this is just the set of little introductory tutorial missions, story, guide, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty fun. It came into the game actually just a few months ago, so it is quite new, but go ahead and enjoy that. Take your time with it. I'm not going to spoil too much about it here, so let's just kind of say go ahead and go do it, and we'll move on to the next part. All right, and time for some bulk technical details, the settings, my personal favorite. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the game, and we're going to go through the settings windows and get you dialed into just the particular stuff that you need. So let's go ahead and run through a few of the most important ones, and then maybe a few of the less important ones. So to start off, go ahead and hit escape on the keyboard. That will bring up the menu here. First, we're going to go to display and graphics, and you can obviously set all your display and graphics to whatever your computer is capable of handling. But what we want to look up over here is on the left-hand side, Camera shake is quite disorienting, and I highly recommend taking it off. Camera bobbing is also not the greatest, and you can just go ahead and take that off as well. Invert zoom direction is personal preference if you want to go up or down. After that, we can go to the general settings. And here, what is most important is going to be in this middle panel here, in flight. So this is going to completely change your entire way of life playing Eve, even though it's very short at this time. Very good in my opinion. So what you're going to want to do is open radial menu. It's default to left mouse button, but I highly prefer it to be right mouse button. And then the radial menu delay, instead of what it starts out, which is pretty large, you want to go ahead and put it at 1 tick above none. So this means whenever you click something with the right click very quickly, you'll bring up a contextual item list. But then when you hold down the right mouse button, you'll be brought up with a wheel, which is incredibly useful with contextual things that you can do, as well as better timing about when you can do them. I also do like to have the transparency brought all the way down for my windows, just because I find it distracting if I can see through the windows. So I just like to have transparency all the way down. Speaking about kind of personal opinion, there is the new map. It's actually quite a few years old at this point, but I personally like the new map. I think most people do, but you can try the old map if you want to, because there are some people that do prefer that. And lastly, I do want to speak about shortcuts. I personally prefer to have my power slots. Instead of the F keys, I like to change these to the actual number keys. So high power is just 1 through 6. Low power is control 1 through 6. And then medium power is alt 1 through 6 instead of the Fs. And that's about it for settings. Next, I want to talk about mailing list and how to get you all of the juicy information and help that you're looking for. So what you're going to want to do is on the left-hand side, there's this mail icon in your Neocomp menu. Click it, and then at the top left, there's the Eve Mail tab. Then once you're in the Eve Mail tab, you want to go to the bottom left where it says Add Mailing List. And here you're going to type in Whovian Help, Whovian, I can spell, I swear, space help. And you go ahead and hit join. And when you hit join, you will receive an email that looks like this. So when you go into this email, it will tell you a whole bunch of useful information, very good for this event. I made this personally, so we can go ahead and go through it a little bit here. So it says, welcome, your host, me, Scott Renton, aka Nth Dimensional. Scott Renton is my character name. This is a link so you can see what my character is. And most of these things are links, at least where they would be helpful to be so. You got a link to the YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and they also the Whovian Help chat channel. So you want to go ahead and click this, and this will open up a chat channel called Whovian Help. And this is kind of where me and hopefully a bunch of you guys are going to congregate to help each other out and figure out what you need. Speaking of help, there is also other chat channels, so we'll go over that real quick. If you click the plus button here at the tab area of your chat channel box, you can join channels. Some particularly useful ones are in the help section. So you have English help, you have Eve University, and you have rookie help. So those are going to be very helpful, as the name implies, if you don't get any help in the Whovian help. So you can ask any and all of your questions there, particularly in the rookie help, and I believe the English help. There's a person called Mike Azariah. He is a pillar of the community, incredibly helpful if you ever see Mike Azariah. And if you ever need anything, just feel free to reach out to him and he will be glad to help you. It's what he does, it's what he loves. So moving on from chat channels, let's talk about overview settings. So in order to talk about overview settings, I'm going to go ahead and undock real quick. Again, we go through all this and more in a whole lot of detail in that live stream linked down below. So if you're looking for any real detailed, juicy stuff, feel free to check that out. We're just going to kind of glaze over and go quickly over stuff here. So now that we are out here, we're going to go to our overview settings. You can go ahead and click me as my personal overview settings, which is the ZTAC S standard. And it didn't do anything because I already have it up. But as you can see, this overview looks pretty different than what the default one is. It's got colors, it's got tabs, all that good stuff. You can click through these to change how your overview looks. If you're looking to get a little bit more detailed into it, you can of course join the ZTAC S overview channel, and then you can make your own overview. There are a few other options for like overview profiles that people have made, but I personally definitely like ZTAC S the most, and so that's what I'm going to recommend. After that, we have the trade hub locations. So these are just the major trade hubs in the game. You have Jita, Amar for Caldari, Amar, and then the other major trade hubs is Hek, Renz, and Dodixi for Mimitar and then Galente respectively. After that, you have Doctor Who event Explo ships. So this tells you all of the different ships that you can use in the exploration side of the event, as well as the recommended skill plan. So you have the Doctor Who Heron and the fitting for that Doctor Who Heron. And we will be talking about those a little bit more in the future. And then the same thing for the combat side of the event. And then at the bottom, you have miscellaneous helpful links and helpful pointers. So this is just a bunch of links to things that are useful. A lot of them go to third-party websites and whatnot. Eve Academy is very useful, created by CCP themselves, which is a great resource for all of the stuff that you might want to know as a new player. Again, those links for the chat channels for the helps. You have Twitch, Eve University, Signal Cartel, a bunch of useful stuff there. And then also these helpful pointers is that if you're looking for trying to find something in particular, like where are the career agents, you can just click this and it will tell you how to get to the career agents. Super helpful. So that's about it for settings, chat channels, and all that good stuff. Hopefully that was helpful. And again, check out the live stream for real detailed stuff. Lastly, as a little aside, the new player deals that they offer you through the pop-up screens and whatnot are not typically very good. If you are looking for something like that, I highly recommend checking out another content creator, Oz Eve, and I'll link them down below in the description or something. And they have a really good analysis of basically everything economic in the game, and also like what packs you might want to be looking at to get the most bang for your buck. Welcome to the secret part of the video. So I am an Eve partner, so says CCP, because I create only the finest content in New Eden, and as such, we get to give away some beautiful scope syndication skins courtesy of them. So all you gotta do is answer the comment question of the day, which is, who is your favorite doctor? And also put your in-game character name down below in the comment, and I'm gonna draw a few winners in about a week's time, send those contracts out to you guys, and you can either use the skin for yourself to look fabulous, or even sell the skin on the open market to another player, which will get you a lot of ISK and off to a really great start into the game. And while you're down below typing out your comment for that giveaway, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button, because if you've made it this far into the video, I'm pretty sure you found some value. Anyways, back to the content. So now that you have made it past the tutorial and have set up your settings correctly, you can technically start the event now. However, we're going to go through a few more optional things to do, which will really help you out. Trust me. So the first optional thing is some career agent missions. So in your agency, and the tutorial is going to kind of guide you through to do this, I highly recommend checking out either the exploration agent if you're interested in that side of the event, or alternatively the combat agent if you're interested in shooting Daleks. There is also a little bit of industry involved in this event, so I would also recommend checking out the industrial career mission agent, at least to the point where you get to know how to use the industry window and how to actually build stuff, because there's a little bit of building that is optional in the event, but definitely worth checking out. After you've had your fill of career mission agents and gotten the hang of what's going on in this wonderful game, you can start to head out and forge your own path. And I would recommend highly to do so in a major trade hub. So again, if you remember, we started Caldari race because they were closest to a trade hub called Jita, which is also in that mailing list. You can go ahead and go to that link, right click it, set destination, and you will be on your way to a major trade hub. Once you get to the trade hub, I'd recommend setting that as your home station, and I'll show you how to here. So let's go ahead and set our home station. So what you're going to want to do is be in the station that you want to set as your home station. In this case, it's going to be Jita 44. And then in the top left, you go to your character sheet. And then in the character tab, and then the home station tab is where you want to be. And then you will be presented with these three options: your current home station, which tells you where your currently home station is, and you can set destination if you're looking to plot a course for it. You can change your home station, which is what we're going to be doing, or you can self-destruct your clone. So self-destructing is very helpful a lot of times because in case you are ever far away and need to get back to Jita, say your ship exploded and you don't really care about your pod, you just want to get back to Jita, you'll be able to self-destruct and it makes it super easy. So let's go ahead and go into the select home station. So here you'll be presented with a few different options. So first it will say current station. So you can set the home station to your current station, and that's what we're going to be doing. It will tell you your school station because you can always set your home station back to your school station. And then your possibly remote corporation offices. If you're in a corporation, it is possible to set your home station directly to a corporation station, even if you're not there. But we're going to go ahead and use our current station of Jita 44. We click set home station. And now whenever we die, we will be ported back to Jita 44 and can get right back to whatever activities we were doing. Just one last thing before we really dive into the event is training. So again, in the tutorial, Aura taught you how to train some skills, but we are going to be talking about the training skill plan for the event. Again, check your mailing list, and I have put in 2 major training plans. First is a combat one, and the second is an exploration one. So if you are interested in either side of those, I've personally made these training plans. You can just go ahead and click them and start them up. They do require a little bit of ISK to buy some skill books to get started, as well as the combat one in particular. The actual ship and fitting is a little bit expensive. It's probably about 35 million ISK. So hopefully you've gathered that from the career mission agents, or maybe you've gotten a little help from myself or Mike Azariah. But even if you haven't, you can just get a cheaper, lesser version of the Caracal and still start out probably just fine. So now we have fully prepared and are ready for the event, right? Awesome. So I just want to say the event isn't live yet, but I will be having a full detailed walkthrough guide, etc. video on the whole event very shortly after the event does go live. But before that, I can just say that if you're interested in the exploration side of things, what you're going to want to do is go out into the world, scan some signatures, and there should be a cosmic signature in known space to gather some filament stuff, and then you can make the filaments and then go into these timey-wimey pockets. Alternatively, if you're more interested in just the combat stuff, you should be able to purchase a filament from the player market and then get into the combat timey-wimey area that way. And after you've had your fill of the event, whether that's because it's finished or you've just killed enough Daleks to fill your belly up, what do you do after the event? Great question. So I would recommend kind of these 3 things. So one for exploration, which is go explore known space more. Just go fly around, scan down some cosmic signatures, hack the cans, enjoy, have fun, start exploring New Eden, finding all that it has to offer. And then the 2 things I would recommend for the combat pilots is either doing the Sisters of Eve epic arc, and I'll show you how to start that chain right here. So what you're going to want to do is go to your agency window in the top left, and then the, again, top left tab, Agents and Missions. You head on over to epic arc, and this is going to show you a list of the available epic arcs. And these are basically like longer, bigger, more intense career agent missions. That said, the bottom one, the Bloodstained Stars, or Sisters of Eve epic arc, is designed for new characters to be able to complete, and your T1 Caracal will do just fine here. So you go ahead and click it, and you'll be able to set your destination, and then you just fly to that place, and you continue along the mission chain like you would a regular career mission agent. The reason I do suggest doing this one, aside from the fact that it is easily able to be done in a new character, is that it does get you quite a big chunk of change, and it also introduces you to the world on a little bit more grander scale and gets you flying out to a variety of different solar systems. So great fun, do check it out, and it's just a great segue of getting you a little bit more and more deeply involved into the world of New Eden. And then the second thing that the combat pilots can do is an activity called Abyssal Dead Space. So this is very similar to how the event works, where you get a filament and you go into this weird pocket area of space, and kind of has these 3 combat rooms instead of 1, and they all have kind of different challenges, and the enemies are doing different things. So it's a really fun place to learn about how to fly your ship well, kill a bunch of enemies, and fit your ship up differently, and it's got a really nice progression, and I feel like it comes really well off of this event. So you should more or less not get too lost. Again, there is help, there are chat channels, and always talk to people in the game. They're going to be incredibly helpful, unlike any other game you've ever played before, I guarantee it. So get out there and start killing some baddies. And with that, it's bonus time. So remember at the beginning of the video, I did say there was going to be a bonus hint. Well, here it is. CCP has just created a new lovely article detailing and videoing a bunch of cool stuff that will help out new players. I'll make sure and link that down below as well. I do highly recommend checking that out, especially for the combat-minded Whovians, because instead of getting into a decently expensive ship, it should have really nice options for cheaper caracals and the like. Just to reiterate again, I will be making a full expanded look on this event, how all of the sites work and all of the good juicy details for you. If you want to make sure that you get involved in that ASAP, make sure that you ring that bell. That's right, got you one last time. But it should be very good and should go live very soon after the event does as well. And in the meantime, if you're looking for a little bit more content before that or just extra content, check out these videos. Have a great day, fly safe, and I'll see you in New Eden. Ciao.